I don't know why I was fascinated with light. I just always was. I was always drawn to it. I remember the lighting from Fiddler on the Roof, which was the first show I saw, and I remember feeling the light change and how it made me feel. It's amazing to be here. The last time I think was 38 years ago. The memories are quite vivid. I just remember Maine Masque theater parties on this stage and all the friends I had and all the hours I spent here and all the joyous times. I think the greatest thing that came out of my experience at Maine Masque was understanding that making theater was about being part of a community. And it's the community aspect of theater making that has always been what has attracted me more than anything else. And it was really here where I learned that in a profound way. I think the first show I worked on here was a lighting operator for Cat on a Hot Tin Roof. I remember it vividly. My experience here was quite extraordinary when I think back. It was sort of a self-designed liberal arts education. I was a forestry major, but it turns out that my lighting mentor, Al Cyrus, was also a forestry major at the University of West Virginia before he studied theater. He really was interested in mentoring me and sort of nurturing my interest in lighting, which was always a big interest of mine since I was 13. So I had huge opportunities here in the theater program, and I was equally passionate about making music. People were intrigued by the fact that I was a forestry major, and that it really separated me from the crowd, from all the other graduates with a BA in theater or a BFA in theater. I was sort of the one person in the pile of resumes who had a very different background. A lighting designer reveals the world of the play. We're responsible for what you see and how you feel about what you're seeing. We as human beings respond chemically to the quality of light, the intensity of light, the color of light. The lighting, I think, when it's most powerful, is invisible, and the audience is unaware what it's doing, but it's doing things that are very powerful and potent. I've been involved with some amazing productions on Broadway. There have been so many. The Lion King is special in my heart because I think it was my first Broadway musical, and I think at that point in my life I was starting to think I'd never get to design a musical on Broadway, which was my big dream. It's the most unified production in terms of design that I've ever seen. And the most satisfying experience in terms of making a piece of theater. And just the fact that it's endured for over 20 years all around the world is kind of incredible. It's an amazing place to work. There's a unique kind of energy about Broadway that I love, but it's not the only place to do great work, hardly. For kids who are interested in the technical side of theater, if they're interested in design, study art history and study history and politics and philosophy and psychology, anything that can feed your brain and make you understand the human condition in a more profound way. Because what designers do is we essentially crystallize work into something very, very precise that speaks profoundly to the human condition. In terms of what I want to do, what's on my bucket list, that's a hard one. I feel like I've been so fortunate. I've sort of done the things that I've always wanted to do: work at the Metropolitan Opera, travel the world, light my first Broadway musical. I feel very fortunate about that. So what I like to keep doing is wonderful collaborations, challenging work, things that really push me and sort of take me outside of my comfort zone. It feels great to come back to where it began. If you had asked me when I was 18 years old, a scared freshman, working on Cat on a Hot Tin Roof, if I would come back here, 38 years later and be talking to you right now, there's just no way I could even conceive of it. It's thrilling. I wanted to be a lighting designer when I was 13 years old. I mean, I sensed that that's what I wanted to do. It took a while to get there, but I feel like every day I'm living the dream. So to come back and sort of revisit where it all began for me is very special and very exciting.